Lance Hall here for Let's Discuss with Lance Hall. Happy to welcome guitarist Scott Leach of the band Crystal Ball, founding member of the band, correct, Scott?
Yes, that's right. Hi, Lance.
Going on now into your third decade with the band, and new album Cristeria coming out next week.
Yeah, that's right. January the 28th. It's our 11th studio record.
On Massacre Records. The CD, of course, will be out and the downloads and everything. I understand you've also got some box sets, and there's going to be a real limited run of vinyl at some point.
Right. It will be out in April, the vinyl. As always these days, it takes a bit longer for vinyl to get produced.
Absolutely. Let's start off right with the title of the album. That intrigues me. I loved the song as well, the title track, Cristeria. Where did that word come from?
Thank you. Well, it actually came from our bass player. His name's Chris. So you might guess where it's coming from. He made that as a joke, actually, let's call it Cristeria. And we all laughed. And after a while, we said, well, it sounds kind of cool. And of course, there's an obvious connection to hysteria, maybe. But then again, we thought, well, no, it's a word game, Crystal Ball, hysteria. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's catchy. It's catchy as heck.
Yeah, that's what we
And then, of course, the album artwork done by Concept Design. I love that as well. Had you worked with them previously?
Thank you. No, it was the first time, actually. We had different artists before. For example, Thomas Everhard. We've done lots of artworks with him, but this was the first time we worked with these guys. And the connection was made throughout our producer, Stefan Kaufmann, who knew him.
Okay, very cool. That was my next item of choice, a question to ask about. Of course, Stefan Kaufmann, you met while touring with Udo back in 2002, and he's done some other production for you as well, right?
That's correct. It's already our 8th production with him.
Wow.
So we grew together really strong, and he's like almost like a 6th band member meanwhile.
Yeah. And he did this at Rock Studio in Germany?
That's correct, yes.
Were you guys able to record all together, or did you have to do it in separate things with the whole pandemic and lockdown and everything?
We did it. There were no restrictions because of the pandemic, but as always, we did it not all together, but guitars separately, drums separately, and so on and so on. So we were not a 5-piece band in the studio all the time, but more one after another. Okay. And of course, we met in between all together to discuss and to get updates.
Yeah.
And we did that, but with the modern technique. So like we had new versions on the Dropbox every day, so everybody could listen to it and so on.
Very cool. You also welcomed a new guitarist for this album, Peter Berger. How did he come along?
Oh, he did a great job. We had a really hard time. We thought, oh my God, what are we going to do? Finding another member. No, we had a couple of requirements, like, well, he should be from Switzerland as well. He should be in our age. Of course, needs to play guitar. He should be able to write songs. He needs to sing. Maybe it would be cool if you had like long hair and look like we do. And Peter Berger all fulfilled all those requirements, and we're really happy to have him in our band. And he did a great job on songwriting and recording this album with us.
I was going to say, I read that where he came in and really added to the writing process. So basically, everyone sort of writes in the band.
It's mostly me and Peter, and of course also Steven, our singer. He contributes vocal lines. But also Chris, our bass player, he writes lyrics also.
Okay, very cool. I saw where you have a headline tour in Germany, like January, February, with Jaded Heart and Fire Rose. Is that still on?
Unfortunately not. We really try to make it happen. But as it looks now in Germany and Switzerland, it's not possible. We asked all the clubs, and a lot of them withdraw from the possibility of doing it, and with only like, you know, every second show possible, we just had to call it off and hope to do it some other time. This tour was actually already shifted twice.
Yeah.
But like 1 year ago, we thought in January of 22, you know, it will be all over. But as we learn now, we were wrong.
It's not. Yeah. I think everybody's ready for it to be over, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I got to of course listen to an advanced copy of the album. Fabulous album. We got 13 tracks on here. I wanted to do a little not necessarily a track by track, but I made some notes on a few of them. I kind of wanted to ask you about the opening song, What Part of No, that came out. First thing that really grabbed me was a riff. I thought that was a killer riff. Fantastic guitar solo in that song, and that song comes across as sort of somebody who's a little angry. I thought, you know, as I was interpreting it. Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, the riff is from our new guy, Peter. Really, as you said, I really love that riff too. It has so much energy, and then
Yes.
I added the chorus to it, so it was like a joint work, so to speak. And Chris, he did the lyrics for it, and I had that phrase, "What part of no," in my mind, and I gave it to Chris, and he did wonderful lyrics to it.
Yeah.
And you're right, it has some sort of aggression to it, because during the pandemic we had some weird guys, you know, who made fun of us because our singer was also sick of COVID, and they were not really nice with us. And then they said, "I'm not going to argue with you guys." And no, they kept going on. I said, "What part of no did you not understand?" And that's how it came along.
There you go. Perfect. You Lit My Fire, track 2. It was the second video release for the album. It's got a great 80s vibe. You're talking to a guy who cut his musical teeth in the 80s. That's just got a great 80s vibe to it. But I really like the video too, with like the rally cars in it. Is that something that you guys are into?
Yeah, we like that. And we also felt this song has that 80s vibe, and that's why we thought, okay, then let's do cars and women, you know.
That's my next question. Who was the girl? And is that a friend of the band or somebody you hired?
Yeah, she's a dancer. It's a friend, yes, exactly.
Very cool.
And we just wanted to have that 80s good time feeling somehow translated to the video, to the visual side.
Yeah, you did a great job on it. Great job.
Thank you very much.
Now, Call of the Wild, this is where we get one of the many guests on the album, Ronnie Romero. How did he come about to lay down a vocal on this? And it's a great tune as well.
Thank you. We played some shows together with him. He was in another Swiss band called Corleone, and so we met him live at some festival, and we got along very good. He's a really nice guy, and we had this idea of a duet, and we called him up, and he said right away, "Yes, let's do it." You know, really easygoing, great result. I'm really proud to have such a great, amazing singer as a guest on our CD.
Yeah, excellent. Track 5, Undying. I listened to this and I'm reading the lyrics, and I thank you for including a lyric sheet with the download. That's always nice to have. I couldn't really tell, and I suppose you could really, you know, if you're an artist, you have your interpretation, but you will like everybody else to have their interpretation as well. I couldn't really tell if this was like a song of despair or yet hope. You know, it sort of went both ways with me.
Perfect. That's actually what I meant.
Okay.
No, really, it's really both. It's like, no, it's going back and forth. And you're disappointed, you want to give up, and then no, you give it a try again, and then exactly that feeling of I guess everybody can relate. You know, that happens in every relationship, and it's all about that. Yes. Excellent.
Now I'm gonna lump tracks 7 and 8 together. Make My Day, I found out to be an incredibly upbeat song, lyrically and rhythmically. Just the whole rhythm of that song, you can't help but smile and make you want to get up and move. And then No Limits is the same thing. I thought that had another great message to it. Both a couple of songs that bookended each other on that.
Yeah, we also love both of those two songs. I remember coming up with that guitar riff to Make My Day, and I immediately knew this is going to be a really positive thing. You know, I brought it into the rehearsal room, we played it, and everybody was like, yeah, this is going to be great. And Lone Limits was one of the first songs that we have written.
Right. That's just my dog. She'll be okay. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
She likes to make cameos in these interviews.
But what kind of dog is it?
She's kind of a mutt. She's a mixture of about 5 different kinds. A little bit of black lab, and she's got I don't know, a tiny bit of pit bull. Not a lot. In her face is where you see it. She's more like a lab. I don't know, mix. You know.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Great. But yeah, No Limits was one of the first tracks we had written for the album. Also, really to me, it's like a motivational song, uplifting. Message is just no limits, or the sky is the limit. Never give up, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Draw the Line, I found interesting. It's a great social commentary. Social media. I love the fake news line. And this is what interested me, because of course over here in America, you know, the last number of years we've heard about fake news and how the media is manipulating us. Is it sort of the same way over there where you are, or were you writing it as a commentary to what's going on here in the US?
Actually, I was more referring to what's happening on social media.
Okay.
Of course, big media, you never know what's true or not. That's probably a fact all over the world, but
universal. Yeah.
The song was more inspired from what I saw on social media, where people really shared and posted all kinds of crap that has no facts behind it, and that was really shocking in a way I never saw that before in the last couple of years, and that's what inspired the lyrics. Actually,
the times have definitely brought out the keyboard warriors, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And they can hide behind their, you know, being anonymous. Right.
Yeah. Lines of Fire, great intro in this song. I am not quite sure on the lyrics. I mean, if you take them literally or if there's something subjective here, you got to pull the curtain back a little bit for me on this one.
Yeah. That's on purpose, of course.
Yeah.
Actually, our bass player said, you know, it's about riding motorcycles. There we go. Of course, you can always see or read something else, which is fine.
Yeah.
But that's the original thought.
That's cool. That's very cool. You know, like I said, I like you said, you can interpret this as being something totally sexual, but I'm like, I don't think that's what's going on here. There's something else. You know, there's something I'm missing.
Not really, but of course it's on purpose, so you can read between the lines or have your own interpretation of it.
Crystal Heart. Here's where you have some friends from Jaded Heart come along, and I take it you guys are like blood brothers over there, and you help each other out, and it's just almost natural to play with these guys.
Yeah, we know those bands know each other for a long time, and actually we planned on doing a tour, so they would Jaded Heart would have supported us on our tour in Germany. So that's where the idea came from, to make a band duet to promote that tour, which now is called off, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we're good friends, and we never saw each other during that process, but we were mailing riffs back and forth, melody lines, and so on, until the song was finished.
Very cool. Very cool.
So both bands really wrote parts of the song.
Nice. The final track, Till You Meet Again, as I was listening to this, I thought it was a great closer. It had almost like a spiritual hymn-like vibe to it, you know, in the verse, and once you hit the chorus, you know, almost like a choir-like hymnal type song to it. I thought it was fantastic.
Thank you. Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love that track too, and it really that's a track from Stephen, our singer. He got inspired because his mom died last year, and actually that song was written for his dad. You know, till they meet again.
Oh,
They've
okay.
been married for like 50 years, and of course, very emotional, but such a beautiful song. We just wanted to have it on the album, even though
Yeah.
there's no guitars on it, but we all love that song.
Yeah, very personal song. Yeah, exactly. Want to talk about a couple different things that you mentioned as we were talking about these songs. You know, with as long as Crystal Ball has been around, you know, you're going on, you know, you've been together 20 years, you're going on, you know, into your third decade. You talk about how, like, you guys wrote Crystal Heart, you were never together, you know, and you emailed tracks back and forth and all that. Of course, back in the day when you first started the band, you couldn't really do that, could you? You know, everybody sort of had to be together unless you were trading cassettes or something, right?
Yeah. Back in the day, we just were five guys in the rehearsal room and you know, playing
Yeah.
along. Of course, we could do recording at the time, but it was really, as you said, it was more live, more writing the songs in the rehearsal room. Yeah.
Do you think it was better back then or now or different? I mean, obviously you can include more people and it's probably easier, but which, you know, which do you like better?
Um, one tends to look back in a you know, like maybe not really realistic way. So I wouldn't say it was better. It was okay at the time, but actually I prefer the way it is now because, of course, with the band we still get back together, but it's easier for me to write ideas at home and work it out with a computer. I can lay down drums and bass and keyboards, and so I have a more precise or more clear vision of the song idea I can present to the others afterwards. You can do the same live, but it takes a lot more time, you know. So both ways are good, but I really enjoy the benefits of modern technique.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is, like, with Crystal Heart, I found in that song a great message of passion. And I read this in a couple of interviews and stuff that I heard you talking. You talk about your passion, and it comes across in the music as well. For doing it as long as you've done, how do you maintain that passion, you know, for so long? I mean, you've been at it quite a while, Scott, and I hope you stay at it longer, but there must be times where, you know, how do you maintain it all?
Really good question, Lance. Yeah, I guess sometimes I don't know myself. I guess it really is the passion for music. Of course, like last couple of years with the pandemic, there were times I was really asking myself, you know, how much longer do you want to do that? And doesn't make any sense. And do we ever play live again? And so on and so on. But then as soon as we got back together and wrote the songs for the new album, there's this spirit, this passion, and that's what keeps you moving on. Maybe not at the same pace as with 20 years ago. No, we will get a little bit older, and maybe we will not release a CD every year, but I think we'll just go on as long as we have fun doing it.
That's the key. As long as you have fun and you're enjoying it, you know, why stop, right? You know?
Yeah, right. I mean, we're not doing it for the money or anything else. It's just because of the music, and we'll love what we do.
Yeah. Let's go back in time to when you first started playing and discovered your passion. Your older brother played guitar. He showed you a few chords. You didn't start playing till I think you were like 15 or so.
That's correct. Yeah.
And Yngwie Malmsteen was sort of your inspiration.
Absolutely, yeah. I heard a song of his, Black Star, an instrumental track, and I felt, he's exactly playing what I felt, and I wanted to express myself the same way. Not meaning I want to play like him, but being able to express my feelings with a guitar, with music, and that's what got me started with playing guitar.
Yeah. Black Star has always been one of my favorites, and the other one I had to go back and listen to it this morning while I was prepping for this. Off of Rising Force, the Icarus Dream Suite Op 4.
Oh yeah, yeah,
that
absolutely.
That one always grabbed me, you know.
Great.
And you basically started out with learning from books, but then eventually you went to in Vienna, the AIM, I think it was.
Yeah, correct. Stands for American Institute of Music.
Yeah.
Which was like a version of the Musicians Institute from Los Angeles.
Yeah. And now are you still teaching guitar? I saw one website where you give guitar lessons. Are you still giving lessons?
Yes, I do actually, almost not every day, but a couple of days a week. Yes.
And how does it feel to be passing on your knowledge now? It's got to be a nice feeling.
It is great. Yes, it really is fun, especially when you have students that really, they move on. They can learn from you. You see their progress, which that's great. And I like giving my knowledge to others, because I wish I had more inputs back then.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's much easier with YouTube, and you got all the millions of tabs and guitar books and videos around, right. Which was not the case, or less the case when I started out.
Yeah. I've asked a couple of guys this that give lessons, and they all are pretty unanimous in it. By giving lessons and teaching, you learn just as much as well while you're teaching as when you're playing, correct? Because you're keeping your chops up and you're always discovering new things.
That's so true. Yes, I got to learn many new songs, new bands. You kind of keep track of what's going on, what the younger people are listening to. That's so true.
Yeah. I also read the first album you ever bought was Headhunter by Crocus.
Yeah, that's right.
Great album.
I did the dishes for my mom, and every time I did that, I got like 20 pence or something.
Sure.
And after a month or so, I don't know, my father had to drive me to a record store where I just picked out the most badass looking cover I could find, which was a skull.
Right.
And, I knew the band Crocus then, but I didn't know exactly what that record's going to be like. But that was cool.
That's very cool. I saw those guys on that tour. It was Gary Moore, Crocus, and Def Leppard was on the Pyromania tour.
Oh, I wish I had seen that, Ben. Then
it was a fantastic show. So Crystal Ball, I'm curious about this. Started way back like in 1995 as a band called Cherry Pie. You were doing covers, correct?
Right, 1995. Yes. Yeah.
I'm curious. What were you doing for covers?
We did mostly 80s tunes. So from Bon Jovi to Dokken to Malmsteen to ZZ Top, Metallica, just all kinds of 80s stuff, but not
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything, right? Exactly. Some famous tunes and some not so famous tunes. So people thought these were originals.
Sure.
Funny enough, but everybody chose a couple of songs, they liked at the time, and that's how those songs came together.
What was one of your favorites to do?
Actually, one of my favorites was Darken on Chain the Night.
Yeah.
Another one was Ingrid Malmsteen, You Don't Remember, I'll Never Forget.
Yep.
Those were two of my favorites.
What was a song that you picked that was harder than you expected to learn?
Well, Malmsteen was pretty hard, but I expected that.
Yeah.
Let me think. Actually, we did a Striper tune at one time.
Okay.
And that was not so easy. Yeah, I remember. I couldn't find any notation, any tabs, so I had really do everything by ear. And I remember. I can't remember the title actually, but I remember that it was not that easy.
Oh, very cool. So circling back now to the new album that Crystal Ball has put out, Cristeria. It's coming out once again on January 28th on Massacre Records. I understand you guys really took your time writing. You picked from over 30 songs for this album.
That's correct, yes.
Was there ever a thought of putting out a double album?
Not really, no, because we did that just 2 years ago.
Right.
We had this album called 2020, which was a best of album featuring 10 newer tracks and 10 old tracks that all got re-recorded.
Right.
So we thought it's just, let's make a normal album, but just let's pick the best songs we can do.
The best of the best. So going forward right now, everything's sort of on hold. This tour is now pushed back a little bit. Do we have any more videos coming out at all for any of the songs?
Yes, there's one more video planned. I cannot tell you now which song it's going to be because we don't know it ourselves.
Okay.
But we'll decide soon, and it will be out not before the release though, but it will be released together with the vinyl release in April, or maybe even a little bit before that.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Excellent. Scott, I always like to end my interviews with just some fun questions. I'm hoping these are questions that you've never been asked before. Sound good?
Sounds perfect.
Getting late in the evening and you're hungry, what do you grab for a midnight snack?
Whatever the fridge offers me.
Okay. If you could speak any language instantly, what language would you pick?
I guess Spanish would it be?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite superhero?
I'm not really into those Marvel comics, but maybe if I have to pick one, it would be Batman.
Batman? Okay,
Yeah.
we'll go in the opposite direction. Who was your favorite villain?
Any James Bond villain.
Okay.
I don't know any superhero villains.
Very cool. What is a day off from music like? If you take one where you're not going to play guitar, you're not going to give a lesson, you're not going to record, you're going to take a day off from music, what would that entail?
Oh, really? Just like everybody else, I guess. Watching some movies, maybe going out a little bit, having dinner somewhere out, which is not so common these days, at least here during the pandemic. But I hope this will soon be better. So that's just a regular day off for me.
Yep. I always like to ask this question from you guys overseas. What's the fastest you've ever been in a car? Because all you guys have been to Germany on the Autobahn. It's usually insane speeds.
Yeah. Well, that's not in miles, but in kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
I think with me it's maybe 220. So I don't know how much that's in miles, but that's fast. As fast as my car could do.
That is definitely fast. Would you rather have the power to be invisible or to read minds?
That's a good question. I guess read minds.
Okay. How about your favorite toy growing up as a child?
It was Lego. Do you know Lego is the same in the US? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Definitely. Last one, and this is the one that we generally have the most fun with. If they were to make a movie of your life, what actor would you pick to play you in the movie? And it's your movie, your life. You can pick anybody.
Great question. Good. Let me think. Maybe I don't know, Brandon Fraser.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I saw him in a movie called Devilish or something like that. And I found him so funny. So I don't know why, but just my first choice.
Right, excellent. We've been chatting with Scott Leach, founding member and guitarist for Crystal Ball, their new album Cristeria, coming out January 28th on Massacre Records. Are you guys selling it through your website, or do they get it through like the normal outlets?
Both. Of course, normal outlets, but we'll offer like signed versions on our website as soon as it's available on the 28th.
Okay, and I had the website written down here in my notes, but I cannot seem to find it right now. Can you give us? It's like Crystal, and then there's like a hyphen.
Yeah.
Is it Crystal-BALL.ch, correct?
That's correct. Yes, CHS for Switzerland. Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. crystal-ball.ch. There we go. So definitely check that out. It's a great website as well. You guys maintain as well. That's another thing too. Social media plays such a role nowadays as compared to when you first, formed the band. It must be quite a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember having the first website and like, just looking at it, somebody did it for us and having no clue and even going online for the first time in my life with a modem that made those funny noises. And so it's such a different time now. And but technology moves on and we try to keep track with it. And of course, there's also great possibilities now.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you put out a single now and you can put it on YouTube and it's worldwide instantaneously. Before, you had to rely on, tape trading and will the radio play it or, something like that.
Exactly. And we can have an interview, with Zoom.
Right. Yeah.
Across the globe.
Exactly. It is an amazing time. Scott, I wish you and the rest of the band much luck and success in the future. Hopefully you get out on that tour and maybe someday even get over here to the States and we can sit down and have a beverage together.
I would love that. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
All right. Scott Leach, once again, of Crystal Ball, new album Cristeria, out January 28th on Massacre Records. It is a fantastic album. Great job. Look forward to see what the future brings for Crystal Ball.
Thank you so much, Lance. Thanks to everybody listening and wish you a great day.
You as well. Take care, Scott.
Thank you. Bye-bye, Lance.